see generate constructors. I like to generate constructors using all the three fields, and it's very easy. And it's also keep in mind that you really like to write a little bit comment. Okay, here I like to write a little bit. I like to explain what we are trying to achieve. So here, this is an entity class to represent customer information read from the file customers.txt, and this is for one single customer. And we save the file, and what we can do is we can continue to create another class called product. Okay, and here we will do very similar thing. We have the ID, and we have the product's name. Here there's a typo, fix it. We have the price information. Okay. Of this, we again goes to the source. Okay, and then we say we like to generate this getters, setters. I select all these. I click on OK. I have all the getters, setters generated. Then I go back to the source, and then I go to generate the constructors using fields. I select all of them. Click on OK, so everything's good. I'm done with the product, and similarly you like to put a little bit comment here, and again let's go to the last class that we like to have, that's called order. And for this order, you say here you have the order's ID. Okay, and then you have the customer ID and product ID. I'm sorry, it's the customer ID, product ID, you have quantity. So here we have the customer ID, and then we have the product ID. I use CID, PID to represent customer ID and product ID. Then we have the quantity. Okay. This would be the information from the file. As we continue, we may need to add some attribute so that we can have the problem solved. Again, here we go back and we generate getter setters. We select all. We have getter setters generated, and then we select the generate constructor, and we select, and then we have the constructor generated. Okay, and we save it, and we save it for the product. Up to this point, we have developed 3 classes, the customer class, the product class, and the order class, to hold the data that we get from the file. Okay. The next thing is, how could we relate them? Okay, let's take a look at this again. And what we need to do is we need to read information into these 3. That's a pretty straightforward process. Okay. And after that point, what should we do? Essentially, we need to generate the order's detail information, and we need to generate the order's summary. And if you think about this, both the order's detail and the order's summary, we can figure out this information, by combining or massaging the data from customers, product, and orders. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to really use a top-down approach to approach this problem. So now let me go back and I will create a class. This is the server as the main class, so I like to have the main function here. So I'm going to call this one as the store manager main. So this is what I'm going to do. Okay, so I have a little bit comment there, remove that. And here, so what I like to do is I like to really do the input. I will do all the input. So the first step, I will do, the collection of customers. And then we do the collection of products. And we do the collection of orders. So here, as we try to recall, what we need to do is we need to generate the detailed order information. Where should we hold the detailed information? Okay. And how could we, summarize this order information so we can get the order summary? And that's a more complicated process. And essentially, think about this. What we need to do is we need to process the information in the collection of the customers. Okay, and we need to process the collection of products. Think about that, because we have a collection of the customer, we have a collection of the products, and then we try to relate this. So what I'm going to do is I will try to create 3 managers that would hold a collection of customers, that would hold a collection of orders, that would hold a collection of products. Okay, so here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new class that's called customer. So either you call it manager, or call it a holder that would hold a collection. Okay, that would hold a collection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this as manager. Okay, and what it would do, it would hold a list of customers or collection of customers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a list of customers. And we are going to create such a collection. And what we are going to do, if you look at this, we are going to fix the import problem. Okay, and we are done with that. So that's the collection. And let's continue. Okay, let's continue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, let's do this. That's the constructor that we have. So what I like to do is essentially I like to move the allocating to the constructor. And then what I like to do, I like to create a method that's called add a customer. Right? That will add the customer in. So whenever we like to add a customer in with this piece of information, we have the ID, we have let's take a look again. We have the name and we have eligibility. Okay, so name and we have eligibility. If you think about that, let's do this. And this will be a string, and what we need to do is we process within this point and we try to add to the collection. Okay, we'd like to add a little bit comments here. So based on the information from the parameters, add a new customer to the collection. So what we are going to do is say if eligible dot equals, if it is yes, okay, what we are going to do is we say that is equal to false, and this is the string representation. If the string representation is equal to yes, what we are going to do is we are going to change is equal to true, and okay, and what we are going to do is we are going to do the collection dot add, and we are going to do a new customer with the ID, with the name, and with the editable information. Okay. Now, if you think about this, we are done with, whenever we can read the information from the file, 3 pieces of information for each customer, and we are going to add to this collection. Okay. And as we move along, we try to figure out, how could we utilize such a manager so that we can figure out, this order detailed information, and how could we figure out the order summary information. Similarly, what we like to do is we like to go to the order part and we go to the product part. We are going to do the same thing. Okay. So what I like to do is I like to do the same thing to create a collection. So we say order manager. Okay. And such an order manager, and we have a list of orders. So we are going to create a constructor.